Welcome to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm Daya Naef, your host and founder of The Success Partner. On this show, we dive into the stories of attorneys, business professionals, and entrepreneurs who have navigated the ups and downs of building successful careers and businesses. From the strategies they've implemented to the challenges they've overcome, we're here to uncover the insights that can help you on your own journey to success. So sit back, relax, and let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the Success Partner Podcast. I'm your host, Daya Naef, and today I have the honor and the privilege of having a fellow coach and now author, Stephen Seckler, on the podcast. Welcome, Stephen.
Thanks so much for having me, Daya.
Yeah, I would love for you to share with our audience, like how you got to where you are now, and of course, your latest development, the book.
Okay, thanks. Well, it's been a long journey, but I graduated law school in the late 80s. My first real job was in continuing legal education. I organized hundreds and hundreds of CLE programs, did a lot of recruiting at that time because all the speakers were volunteers. Learned a lot about a little bit of every area of practice, and I became very interested in practice management and marketing. And at that time, as you are probably aware, marketing was just taking off, and so was coaching. So when it was time to leave the nonprofit job I have, when our second child was born and it was time to make more money, I just launched out on my own, started a recruiting business, but didn't want to be like every other recruiter. And again, I had some coaching, so I launched a recruiting business, but I was also offering coaching services. And for the last 30 years or so, I was doing a mix of that. But 3 years ago, I completely gave up on recruiting, and I'm following my passion now and doing a lot of what you do.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And of course, now you have a book that is super exciting. Tell us about the book.
The book is something I never thought I would do, write a book. And I've been writing a lot for the last 20, 30 years. And after having written so many articles, I one day had this epiphany that there's a book to be had. But I never really wanted to write a book because, like many lawyers, I have an aversion to self-promotion, and I sort of felt like writing a book was like the ultimate in self-promotion. But I realized that I had a story to tell that was useful, which is that if I can overcome my aversion to selling, if I can overcome my lawyerly tendencies, if I could be successful in building a business, acting like a lawyer much of the time and thinking like a lawyer much of the time, I can teach others to learn how to act like an entrepreneur and not worry about how our lawyerly thinking is holding us back.
That's a great insight. It sounds like you have a lot of insights in how we think and how we can get in our own way.
We really do get in our own way. And like a big theme of the book, or a big theme of my coaching, and a big reason why I've enjoyed writing the book so much, is that it really crystallized my thinking in a way that, I already had a pretty good handle on what it was that I feel like a lot of my clients need, and I'm sure a lot of your clients need to overcome. But by writing the book, I realized that this was like the ultimate test. If I can write a book and feel okay promoting it, then I've finally gotten past all of my head trash, and I can move forward. So the book is kind of like a final project, so to speak, even though I'm going to be doing this for quite a while. But it was a labor of love, and I'm just really enjoying getting out and talking about it, and I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, I mean, you're very welcome. It reminds me of what is that phrase? Healer, heal thyself. Really getting in and doing our own work. Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people that, I wouldn't say this is a self-help book, but I think a lot of people that write about overcoming adversity have overcome adversity themselves, and that's why they want to share their story. I mean, I grew up in a household where my father was a math professor and my mother was a school psychologist, and business was not respected in my household. In fact, my father used to say, and I still hear that voice in my ear, even though he's been gone many years, that all business people are operators, and he didn't have positive thoughts about people who were in business. But I've come to realize that actually being in a professional services business is kind of fun if all you're thinking about is how can I be helpful how can I build relationships, and if you like meeting people and you're curious.
Yeah, that's a great way to reverse that around. I mean, so much of what we learn as kids kind of stays with us the rest of our lives until we figure out we don't have to live with it anymore. Oh. Will you share another success story with us?
Well, I mean, a lot of my success stories, not just my own, but my clients are really just small little successes that just feel like, for them, major breakthroughs. For me, they just happen all the time with my clients. But I had a client who, she had a nice practice. It was going well. And then suddenly some of her major clients just started disappearing. They were getting acquired, or they were running out of funding, or whatever. And so she found herself as a lawyer in solo practice who didn't have clients, and she had never really done much marketing. And so she came to me. And so we did many things together. But one of the things that was most rewarding was I had her put together a list of 20 clients who she hadn't been in contact with in a long time. And she was very averse to wanting to reach out to them. Like, why would they want to talk to me? Are they really going to want to hear from me? And we crafted an email, and she sent it out. And she wrote back to me a couple of days later, and she said, Steve, I can't believe it. I can't believe that. Like, 13 people responded right away. I'm like, of course, like, people like you, you know, you know. So that was like a small success that was very rewarding from my perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all have a lesson there. It's like staying in top of mind, and of course, just showing people that you care, that you're thinking about them, and whether they have any business to do right now or not, you've still sort of made that warm connection. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you also talk a lot in your program about reinvention, pivoting. I'm sure we've all done a lot of pivoting in the last couple of years, and even more as we have uncertain times, as always. What kind of tools? If you had like one or two tools that we should really make sure we have in our toolbox, what would they be?
Well, we can get fancy. I know that you're very focused on AI right now, as am I. There are a lot of ways that we can leverage AI to save time. I think the most important tool to be using is authenticity. It's like,
Mhm.
pursue the kind of work that you really want to do, pursue the kinds of clients that you really resonate with, and use the kind of activities that really feel genuine for you. So, like, one of my standard go-tos is like, if you don't like golf, don't play golf.
It seems so simple, and yet. Yeah, that makes sense. And I do think that authenticity and direct connections are going to be even more important as we are also in the AI age. I kind of joke that our AIs are like talking to each other. They're making the articles, they're reading the articles, they're commenting on the articles. So it really makes a difference when we have a real conversation like this. Yeah. So what's next for you? I mean, you've got the book down. You're going on like a speaking tour.
I'm speaking on quite a few podcasts. I have a presentation coming up with the ABA like this. I am speaking at law firms, and I'm just continuing my business, my practice of, you know, bringing in clients and identifying ways that they think like a lawyer, and seeing if they need help acting in a more entrepreneurial way, whether it's helping them with their marketing or helping them to figure out what's not going right with their career, or to help them figure out how they could be more effective as a leader or a manager, so that they're not cross-examining the people that work with them, so that they're trying to understand and listen and use those skills that we're not really trained in a lot when we're in law school. I mean, we get some training in that, but we're trained more, as you know, to be articulate, to present ourselves as intelligent, to make good arguments. And that's not what relationship building is about. But relationship building, as we know, is so important in all other aspects of our careers and how we advance. So I don't have any big major plans, other than I'm just really, really happy that I get to just do coaching, because, frankly, recruiting is a lot more lucrative, but what I like to say now is that cold calling is not my calling. And it never was, I mean, I had some good years, but, we as lawyers are not that resilient. We don't like rejection. And there's a lot of rejection in recruiting. I mean, there's rejection in what you and I do in terms of landing business, but it's not the same. So there's more of a transactional nature to the kind of selling that you're doing in recruiting. And in coaching, you build a relationship. If somebody likes your style, if they feel comfortable with you, then they're feeling stuck, then they will hire you. But it's not like you have to reach out to 200 people to find 3 people who might be interested and then eventually place one of them and make a huge fee.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think every conversation is valuable, even if it's just the one or two conversations. And if we decide to work together, it's because we mutually feel like it's a good fit and we'll have some sort of relationship. And then, of course, when people graduate coaching, then it's an amazing success story. And then you'll see them again when they want to pivot or bring somebody onto their practice or have some other type of change in their life.
Wait, you let people graduate?
I do let people graduate.
I think like the whole point of coaching is to create codependence.
That's funny. Yeah. No,
Actually, I will say, like, that's another manifestation of my lawyer brain. I feel guilty of asking somebody to renew, even though I, in my heart of hearts, know that they could probably benefit from some more work together. But I'm much better at that now. And a lot of times, I don't know how you do it, but after an initial 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, or whatever the initial term is, depending upon the subject matter or the need, I have people that are on sort of like a maintenance program where I'll meet with them, once a month or for just a short period of time, twice a month. Or, I've got one client who I just meet with every other month, just so that we can keep reinforcing the change in behavior, because coaching is about making change, and change is hard. And we as humans are stupid, and we don't learn that quickly sometimes. And one of the coaches in our group, who's no longer with Provisors, but we know each other through Provisors, um, said, you can't read the label from inside the jar. Mm-hmm. And that's why we need coaching. And that's why I have worked with coaches, and I believe you have too, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And I think different people fit better at different times in the equation. And I'm still working out like my model. And so some people, we do a short term project-based engagement, and other people we've been meeting for 3 years, and we keep reinventing the relationship as the firm grows and changes. So no set package over here.
You don't have a set amount of time that people need to sign up with you initially.
No, I don't, and that may be on me too. That may be where I need some more exploring.
Well, I go back and forth. I mean, there are different business models, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't think any one business model is right. I know a lot of coaches who sign up clients and get their payment information and then just charge them on a monthly basis, and then it just keeps renewing until they decide they don't want to do that. And so far, I haven't really felt comfortable with that. So I have a flat fee that I'll split up into 2 payments initially. Occasionally, I'll do 6 sessions, but I don't like doing that because I sort of feel like I put a lot of time and energy early on into the relationship that I'm not really charging for. And so if I'm going to do that, then I want people to stick with it for a while. Plus, I'm sure you feel this way too. It takes time to embrace some of the insights and then to act on them. And so we're not consultants, although you do some consulting, right?
Mm-hmm, I do.
So I don't really do any consulting, although people may not have the slightest idea how to market. So I'll give them some information, mm-hmm. but I'm not really telling them what to do. I want them to kind of decide for themselves in partnership with me. But it takes a while to change those habits from like, oh, there's a billable hour, I'm going to do that, rather than, well, I'm going to do the billable hours, but I need to be slow and steady with the marketing because I can't just show up once every 6 months and expect people to remember me.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. And there's also some scientific method around like the fourth month of working with someone is when the change happens and then they get scared and they want to leave. And so you should really have at least a 4-month contract. And it's funny, you get a lot of advice in this business. People do come out and say, this is how you need to do it. And this package works and that package works. And I really think it's down to the partnership that we agree on.
Everybody needs something different, and people like different kinds of coaches. And so somebody that might work, for me might not work for you, and vice versa. And then there are other coaches who are very, I sense that you're more in my style, like you're not like as directive as, some coaches might be like, get on the floor, do 10 push-ups, and I'm like, do you want to do 10 push-ups?
Right. What's the benefit for that?
What's the benefit of the 10 push-ups?
Exactly. What are you trying to gain in the long run? Yeah, absolutely. So for all the folks out listening here on the podcast, definitely if you're looking for a coach, definitely get one that's going to be a good fit for you. And definitely get a copy of Steve's book. Where do we find your book, Steve?
So I think the easiest way to find my book is go to my website. And so obviously there are 2 reasons to do that. One, you could access lots of other resources that I have, including my podcast. And Daya has graciously agreed to be a guest on my podcast in a few months. But if you go to my website on the homepage, there's a link and it has a discount code. But the book is available on the ABA website. And I believe it'll be available on Amazon in June. But if you go to my website, seckler.com, seckler.com, you will find a link plus a discount code and save a little money. So
that's awesome. Love to save a little bit of money. And that sort of kills 2 birds in 1 stone, because I was going to ask you where they can get a hold of you. And obviously on your website is a great place to start. So, well, thank you for being on today. I really appreciate it. And thank you everyone for listening. This has been another episode of the Success Partner Podcast. I'm your host, Daya Naef, and today's guest was Stephen Seckler. Please like, subscribe, and stay tuned.
Thank you for joining us on the Success Partner
Thanks for having me.
Podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation and found some valuable takeaways to apply to your own business journey. Remember, this show is brought to you by The Success Partner, where we help small law firms and business owners achieve unparalleled success through strategic guidance, operational excellence, and effective marketing. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, visit thesuccesspartner.net to learn more. Until next time, keep striving for success, and I will see you in the next episode.